Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to Portfolio Builders Club. It's 2025, new year, new outlook. We're just ready to go and have some fun this year, looking at the markets, having fun, analyzing things and seeing where things might be going, that sort of thing. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome to 2025. All right. Go ahead and like and subscribe. I want to mention that. Like and subscribe. You like, what I'm providing here and the information, just go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out the links below as well. So we're going to start out just talking about the VIX. As we go into 2025, usually in the beginning of the year, we really set the tone that first month of kind of how the market's going to go and what might happen, as we start to set some momentum. You got a lot of folks who are holding over from 2024 who want to sell, in 2025 for different tax reasons. They may have waited because they should have had pretty nice gains last year. And, maybe they want to sell some of the things and go in and realize those profits, which could kind of force the market down a bit. So we'll have to be aware of that as that happens. We got new administration coming in from a political standpoint, so we got to look at that and just know that there could be a lot of volatility around that as well. What we have up right now is the VIX. So we're looking at TradingView. We're looking at the VIX. VIX is the volatility for the S&P 500. And basically what happens with the VIX is once we reach a lower point here, which is here, we have some previous major lows right around this zone here. And once we hit here, usually we'll have a pullback in the actual S&P, and that trickles to NASDAQ and other markets as well. But that's generally what happens. And once we get a pullback, we could pull back, way up into this range here. If we get into this range up here, generally that's the time to start buying again, because generally the market's going to take off again. So the VIX sort of does the opposite of what the actual market does, but it is a volatility index. And right now we are closer to the lower end of this, which could drive the market down. But, we're still at the point where we could have some dips and which means there will be an increase in the market, but we'll have to sort of monitor what happens. So this first, week or so, and maybe all of January, I would expect a lot of volatility in all markets. So we'll have to just monitor that. But if we do get down to this level here, you may start thinking of taking profits because there could be a instant sort of reversal on the VIX, the upside, which means there'll be a downside move on the market. So definitely want to keep an eye on this and see where we're headed. So we'll just jump into some futures here. Looking at the futures market, you got natural gas market here. And as we look at this, you can sort of see that we're definitely been in an uptrend in the last so many months here. And we'll just expect to continue that. Of course, our method of looking at value in any particular asset is to look at these moving averages. Of course, the green one here at the top is the 25-day moving average. This is the EMA. This is the 100 EMA, and this is the 200-day EMA. And basically, we look for value as if price gets down to this level, such as it did right here and has done several times before. And we would say, okay, that's at a discount price. That would be like a discount price 1. This would be more or less discount price 2, and this would be discount price 3. So that's how we sort of look at things that we anticipate based on whatever the history has been as to where the market might go or how low it may go and whether it may reverse and continue to the upside. Let's take a look at Bitcoin futures. So Bitcoin futures, we have pulled back into that 25-day moving average. We have not really held that. We're looking like we might hit about 90,000 on this particular pullback, but we'll have to continue to monitor this to see if it can drop down and then maybe go ahead and push up above the 100K level again. So right now we are pushing to the downside. Right now we'd be cautious in terms of how far down it's actually going to go in this particular case. But right here, it looked like it was about to turn up, but then it did actually reverse and continue to the downside. So again, we'll probably watch around the $90,000 level to see how we stand once we get to that point. All right. It's the dollar index. Dollar index is definitely moving up based on this 25-day moving average. It seems to be supporting the price there. Let's jump into crude oil. So with crude oil, We have sort of like a pivot zone. I'll sort of go back in history a bit here to show this pivot zone down here between $67 and $64 here for crude oil per barrel there. And once it's in that zone, you can pretty much look for that reversal. And you see that's happened multiple times here. Even though, price may travel down a little bit further, generally that is the point where it's going to be turning around. And that's what we have seen so far, that we've had somewhat of a turnaround toward the upside here. And we can continue to monitor this to see if we get above the 100 and 200 day moving average. Right now, I would consider this to be underwater, which is an overall downtrend, but it has hit this bottomless floor with this pivot zone down here, which means that you're getting somewhat of a push, but we still are not clear as far as having a full true uptrend. We really have to get above this 200-day moving average in order to get there. Otherwise, we would sort of anticipate that price could go down at any of these particular points at the 100 or the 200-day moving average, that it can move down, similar to what happened here at the 200. At the 200 here, it moved down, and potentially it can move down again unless it eventually breaks out. Let's take a look at gold. So with gold, we have had a lot of support on the 25-day moving average. That did break down. Looks like in about November, and we have been kind of choppy and going sideways for the most part, but we have found support at our second discount level, which is the 100-day moving average. So as we continue to monitor that, and we notice that this is somewhat of a squeeze between the two 25-day and the 100-day moving average, but we'll continue to monitor that to see if it does actually break out, or if that run from all year to the upside is really sort of over at this point. But right now we are getting support on that 100-day moving average, and we would anticipate that price will just continue to bounce off of that. So there's something to watch for. Dow Jones, similar here. It looks like the support discount area we're looking at is between the 100 and 200-day moving average. So when price is hitting that 100-day moving average, it may dip a little lower, but we anticipate it to push back up. Of course, we do have this top side resistance on the 25-day moving average as well. So even if it does push up above the 100-day moving average, we still have to watch the 25-day moving average to see if it's just going to stop there. But that does present some opportunities for some small bounces in here. Look at SP 500, definitely still moving in an upward trend. We've definitely got a lot of support at our moving averages here. We anticipate that we will get to 6,400. 64.23 ultimately, but this is a daily chart, and that could take some time. And again, as the year starts, we have to see how the year is actually going to start out. Next we'll go to NQ. NQ has definitely been an uptrend. It seems like it's maintaining above the 100-day moving average in recent times, which shows some momentum to the upside. But we have broken below the 25-day moving average, which is where we have to monitor to see when it's actually going to turn up and go above that 25-day moving average again, or if it can find support. So we'll continue to monitor this to see where we're going. For the NQ, we are anticipating it going to 23,000, 23,000 ultimately. So, all right, we'll just jump into the Mag 7 here. And we added a couple of things here. Of course, Netflix and Microsoft are here. MicroStrategy are here. And right now we're looking at MicroStrategy. So this is going to mirror somewhat Bitcoin right now. And again, I was talking about discount levels. So I've sort of marked out what these discount levels are here. And so we're approaching discount level 2. Which is the 100-day moving average, and we'll see if that particular discount level holds, or whether or not we go all the way back down to the 200-day moving average here. But this is going to sort of mirror somewhat the Bitcoin price as well. So we'll have to watch both of those. But MicroStrategy has had quite a bit of a performance. Just want to point out, since September, it was up like 300% at its peak. So that's quite a bit of movement for one particular stock. Jump over to Tesla. So Tesla is going to give their fourth quarter delivery numbers So that will impact the stock price quite a bit. I believe that's going to happen tomorrow. So we'll have to monitor that to see what that news brings for the price of Tesla. We did get close, pretty close to this $500 level. Of course, we're pulling back into this $400 level and that moving average, which are support. But the news could greatly impact where we go from here, like whether we shoot up or whether we shoot down. It could greatly impact that. One of the things to consider about Tesla is Elon Musk, and all the different things that are going on with him could impact the price as far as the media and that sort of thing. But his influence with the administration could have some positive impact on the Tesla price, as well as, you know, they want people to go back to work and things like that. That would help Tesla, because then you create some traffic jams and people spend a couple hours going to work and that sort of thing. That would then encourage people to consider purchasing a Tesla and the value of a Tesla. You know, as long as people are home and not traveling, they're not going to have that same prodding or inkling to sort of look at Tesla in the same way, because either they love the car and they just want the car just for personal use and that sort of thing, but it becomes more of a necessity if you're spending a lot of money on gas and travel, and maybe you want the self-driving to sort of ease the tension of driving in traffic, different things like that. So he will have some influence on the administration, I guess, to be able to try to force people back to work and different things like that. But some of these things are going to benefit his interest as well. So we'll have to monitor this and try to see where it goes and what really happens with this over the next year or so. So, all right, let's jump into Amazon. Looking at Amazon, we definitely have a bit of a pullback into that 25-day moving average. And again, that 25-day moving average has held pretty strong so far recently. So we'll see if we can get somewhat of a movement to the upside related to that. One of the things that we can do as well for this particular stock is to draw a counter trend line here and just sort of wait for the break of that counter trend line to indicate that we're actually moving to the upside at that particular point. So our target is to get back to the 235 level roughly, and then we'll see, I guess, where we go from here. That's Amazon. NVDA. So looking at NVIDIA, so we have this support between the 100 and 200-day moving average, which is, you know, our discount level, and we pushed up off or away from that. So we'll have to see if it comes back and tries to touch that one more time, and whether it continues to push up. Again, we could use the same counter trend line break concept here as well to sort of catch when it's moving to the upside. Of course, we'll be looking for the 25-day moving average to turn green again as well. So. But we'll continue to monitor that. Looking at Meta, similar story here, 100-day moving average, and seems to be where we have a discount level. So we're trying to wait until it gets down closer to this level in order to anticipate what might happen next. But let's again draw our counter trend line here, and we'll just monitor that. Microsoft. The performance here, we did finally break above this 441 level, but it did come right back into it. The 25-day moving average did not hold. It dropped down to the discount level 2 area, and where we are finding most of our value is really at discount level 3. So again, we're headed toward that, but we really haven't gotten the momentum we expected from Microsoft. So as we get down here, would be the best discount level, you know, based on the previous performance. So we'll just sort of anticipate that and wait and see. Again, a beginning of the year everything could turn a different way in this first month. But if we were to look just back in history, this is where we would anticipate we'd have some value. So we would see value there. All right. Google. So looking at Google, definitely moving up. Looking pretty good here. We'll use a counter trend line as well. Let's see. And we'll kind of draw it somewhat like this. And we're looking for a break of that counter trend line to sort of let us know that price is turning around and sort of starting to move to the upside. But we're looking at trying to reach target of 208 roughly as far as our next price target. So we'll have to monitor that and see if we can break through from here. All right, let's jump over to Netflix. So with Netflix, definitely positive and strong. Again, never count Netflix out. Netflix is a very strong company, always comes back, always does pretty well. So never count Netflix out. Again, no matter what the competition might be doing as far as the streaming services and that sort of thing. So right now we're really strong on moving up with the 25-day moving average. And right here we were anticipating this to be our discount area. And right now it did push off of that one time, but now it's back into that and sort of falling below that 25-day moving average. So what we have to do is monitor to see if that's going to actually turn or whether this is somewhat of a top for the price or not. So again, we'll use a counter trend line to monitor that. And we'll just draw that sort of like that, and we'll look and see if that if price goes above this, and then we'll also look to see if that 25-day moving average turns green again. It's slightly red right now, but let's see if it turns green again, and then we will be off to the races to try to hit our target of $1,000 here for Netflix. Apple, looking at Apple, we got definitely movement on Apple to the upside, definitely following this 25-day moving average. We do have some discount as well as the 100-day moving average, but it's looking really good. And we're anticipating a price of $281 as our target price for Apple. So we'll continue to monitor that. Again, we can use a counter trend line as well to monitor when the price sort of breaks through and starts moving to the upside. All right. So that's pretty much what we'll cover for right now, but welcome to 2025. It should be a great year, and definitely look at the links below and go ahead and like and subscribe.